The publishing story of Wild Child is almost as wild as the story itself. I wrote the book in a rush over a period of about a month, and as soon as I finished, I sent it to one of the best agents in New York, who sent it on to the 3 biggest young adult publishers. She called me up and she said, "They loved it, but I have some bad news. You need to make it longer. Can you add 15,000 words?" And I thought, 15,000 words? That's a lot of words. Why? And she said, "Well, it's complicated. It has to do with the cost of paper and retail price points and so on." Well, I really wanted to have the book published, so I added all those words. And when I showed it to one of my friends, he said, "Mike, you've ruined a really great book." Anyway, I got mad and I decided that I'll just publish this book myself. So I printed up 3,000 copies, and as fate would have it, about the time they were ready, I ended up moving to the other side of the world, to Riga, Latvia, my wife's home country. And of course I couldn't take all those books with me, so I ended up only taking 2 boxes and putting the rest in my parents' garage. So I moved and pretty much forgot about it, and one day my wife came to me and said, "Hey Mike, the English teacher at our school wants to read Wild Child. Can I give her a few copies?" And I thought, why not? They're just sitting here collecting dust. So meanwhile, my stepfather started calling me and saying, "Hey Mike, when are you going to get all these books out of our garage?" So finally I told him, "Look, just have them hauled off, recycle them." And he called me up the next day and he said, "Mike, it's going to cost you $200 to have these books hauled off." It made me sick, but I wrote him a check. There was nothing else I could do. Anyway, more and more people started asking for the book. More teachers, students, 2 other schools. In short, people went crazy over Wild Child, people in Latvia. And I ended up giving away all the copies of the book, all 200 I brought with me. I was really kicking myself for recycling all those books. Well, one day the student came up to me who recognized me on the street from the photo on the book and said, "Hey Mike, do you have any more copies of Wild Child?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I threw them all out. No more exist." He said, "Well, I saw them selling on Amazon." I said, "That's impossible." He said, "See for yourself." So I went home, got online. Lo and behold, there it is. Wild Child by Mike Wells. There's like a half a dozen Amazon resellers selling these books. Someone took them out of the trash and started selling them. And I'm not getting a penny from these. So a couple of years passed, and then this ebook revolution started. And I thought, you know, Wild Child is perfect for an ebook, because it doesn't matter how long or short an ebook is, they don't have any physical form. So I formatted the book for the Amazon Kindle, the Sony e-reader, the Barnes & Noble Nook, Apple iPad, and so on, and just recently started selling it online. And I sent it to a dozen book bloggers, and the reviews have all been good. It's really weird. It's almost like this book has a will of its own. You can't kill it. It wants to be read. So if you'd like to read an interesting book and you can spare 99 cents, I priced it very low because it is a short book, give it a try.